What if the real monster isn't the creature hiding in the shadows, but the war that created it? Monster Island isn't your typical creature feature. Set during the final years of World War II, it drops us into a deadly survival story where two enemies, one Japanese, one British, are forced to work together after escaping a doomed hell ship. But when they land on a remote island haunted by a mysterious beast, survival becomes a moral battle, not just a physical one. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host Spoiler Master. In this video, we are diving deep into the story, the symbolism, and the powerful ending of Monster Island. Why did Sato choose to spare the creature? What was the true meaning behind the Orang Ikan's rage? And how does this film challenge the way we view war, monsters, and humanity? Stick around as we explore the full ending of Monster Island, explained. What was the Hell Ship and who was Sato? It all begins in 1944, aboard a Hell Ship carrying prisoners of war to Japan. Most of these men are from the Allied forces, being transported for slave labor. But among them is Sato, a Japanese soldier. And he's not there because he was captured. He's there because he's a traitor in the eyes of his own army. Why? Because Sato had disobeyed orders. His commanding officer was ready to send their own men into a suicidal mission, but Sato refused. He knew it was wrong. He knew they were marching to their deaths. So he did what no soldier was supposed to do. He said no. Now, for his defiance, Sato is shackled and condemned to die once the ship docks in Japan. But fate has other plans. The torpedo attack and the unlikely friendship. Just when things couldn't get worse for Sato, the Hell Ship is attacked by Allied submarines. Torpedoes hit. Chaos erupts. Amid the fire and wreckage, Sato and a British POW named Brunson are the only two who manage to jump ship and survive. Still chained together, they wash ashore on an unknown island. And even though they're both alive, neither is safe. At first, they see each other as enemies. They speak different languages. They come from opposite sides of the war. And let's be honest, they have every reason to hate each other. When Sato finds a gun and tries to shoot off the shackle, Brunson assumes he's trying to kill him. They fight. And then, out of nowhere, something in the sea grabs Brunson. It's our first glimpse of the real danger on this island. A creature lurking in the water. Sato fires at it, and it vanishes. They've got bigger problems now than each other. Survival and a growing bond. They decide to keep the gun and bullets separate. Brunson holds the weapon, Sato keeps the ammo. It's a clever metaphor for their fragile truce. And slowly, through gestures and shared hardship, a bond starts to form. They discover food, coffee, and even cigarettes in old cargo crates. They roast crabs over a fire. They break their shackle together. And somewhere between distrust and survival, they begin to trust each other. Then come the others, Japanese soldiers who also survived the attack, along with another prisoner. Sato tries to protect Brunson by hiding him and lying to the soldiers. But the lie doesn't last long. They find Brunson's belongings, realize Sato is the traitor they've heard about, and are ready to kill him. But that's when the monster strikes. The first attack of the Orang Ikan. A blood-curdling scream cuts through the night, and the creature descends on the soldiers. It's fast, vicious, and unstoppable. Limbs are torn, blood is spilled, and just like that, everyone but Sato and Brunson is dead. They barely escape, falling deep into the jungle and passing out from the fall. When they wake up, they are separated. But their first instinct isn't fear, it's to find each other. That says everything about how far their relationship has come. The mystery of the Orang Ikan. Now we learn the island's real secret. The creature hunting them is part of a species called Orang Ikan, Malay and Indonesian for fishman. These beings are half human, half fish, and they've lived on the island long before any human arrived. Sato finds an abandoned military aircraft, and inside it, he finds clues. A pilot had killed one of the Orang Ikans. The monster that attacked them? She's the surviving mate. And now, she's out for revenge. Later, Sato discovers something even more disturbing. Deep inside a cave, tucked away carefully, is an embryo. The creature they've been running from is not just a killer, she's a mother. She's protecting her unborn child from the humans who already took so much from her. The moral dilemma: fight or coexist? Here's where things get tense. Sato wants to stay away from the cave. He sees the monster's pain. He understands her rage. But Brunson? He has other ideas. Brunson believes that if they want to survive, they need to destroy the cave and the embryo inside. It's not about cruelty for him, it's strategy. He thinks if they don't kill the next generation of the monster species now, they'll never be safe. He's found a missile in the crashed aircraft and wants to use it to blow up the cave. Sato is torn. He doesn't want to be a killer. But he also knows Brunson is probably right. Unless the monster is dealt with, they're in constant danger. Eventually, Sato agrees. The attack, the sacrifice, and the rage. Together, they carry the explosive to the cave. Sato insists on staying behind to detonate it. He's ready to die, and after everything he's been through, maybe he even wants to. But the Orang Ikan arrives early. She attacks Brunson and injures him critically. In a moment of fury, Sato does the unthinkable. He shoots the embryo. The monster howls in agony. Her child is gone. And in that one action, Sato turns from potential ally to enemy in her eyes. Brunson, knowing he's not going to survive, tells Sato to leave him behind. Sato watches from a distance as the cave explodes. He thinks it's over. He thinks the monster is dead, but it's not.
What the fuck are you?
Sato's final fight, and his final choice. The monster survives, and she's more enraged than ever. Sato knows he can't outrun her anymore. He decides to face her. No more running, no more hiding. He buries himself in the sand, places a dead soldier nearby, and lures her in. It's clever, and it works. The creature steps into the trap, confused, and that's when Sato strikes. With his katana, he battles the monster and finally gains the upper hand. She collapses, defeated, and Sato stands over her, ready to end it. But he doesn't. Instead of delivering the killing blow, he steps back. He lets her live, because in that moment, Sato chooses something bigger than revenge. He chooses peace. He sees her grief, her pain, and he realizes that she's not just a monster, she's a mother who lost everything, just like so many families during the war. And in response, she walks away. She doesn't attack. She spares him too. The true message of Monster Island. This is where Monster Island flips the genre on its head. It's not just about monsters and mayhem, it's about empathy, about seeing your so-called enemy and choosing to understand rather than destroy. Sato knew firsthand how war turns men into monsters. He'd seen his own commander treat lives like pawns. And now, given the chance to be that kind of killer himself, he refuses. It's a powerful moment, because it shows that real strength doesn't always come from the sword. Sometimes, it comes from putting the sword down. The ending explained. Eventually, Sato is rescued by the United States Navy. Aboard the USS Fletcher, the officers question him. They ask about Brunson. Sato tells them the truth. Brunson was a British soldier, and more importantly, he was a good man, a friend. The officers are surprised. After all, these two came from opposite sides. But war didn't matter on the island. Survival did. Humanity did. They ask him why he was on the Hell ship. Sato tells them he disobeyed orders to save lives. And now that Japan has surrendered, he's no longer viewed as a traitor. Britain now occupies Japan, and ironically, the man once condemned to death is now free. But the most important question comes last. Was anyone else on the island? Sato says no. He lies. Because he knows if he tells the truth, if he mentions the Orang Ikan, the creature will be hunted, captured, studied, tortured. And after everything that happened, Sato knows she doesn't deserve that. She deserves to live in peace, far from the reach of men who see her as nothing more than a monster. Our nerdy thoughts. Monster Island gives us a rare kind of horror film, one where the scariest thing isn't the creature. It's what war does to people. But it also shows us hope. Through Sato, we see the possibility of forgiveness, empathy, and change. He chose mercy over murder. He chose to protect a life instead of taking one. And in doing so, he reminded us that maybe the true monsters aren't always the ones with claws and teeth. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is spare your enemy and walk away.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.